Well, hello peeps, here we got a little soul shuffle match on the Enhanced at about 1800 MMR. As usual, we will go over the good, the bad and the ugly, while we also discuss the current state of the Enhanced, and the additions that we got in 10.1, you know, and such. But first, I had to inform you that only 4.3% of you are subscribed, so if you have been enjoying the content, do consider smashing that subscribe button. So first, let's talk about where kind of Enhanced currently sits, and I would say Enhanced is definitely like an S tier or a lower S tier right now, without a doubt. I haven't played like the Torm's build yet, so getting the items for it, but the Elementalist style build is absolutely doing insane damage right now. Like, I don't think you will see me be like anything other than top DPS this game. The healing is also, I would say, really crazy. Like, your AoE healing that you can do is really insane compared to, like, I would say other classes and stuff like that. But like, you can really do a lot of off healing for a DPS class, of course. For a hybrid class, I don't think any other hybrid class can even come close to it. On top of you being probably the most damaging class, if not, you know, if you're not the top damaging class, you're like top 3 or top 4 damaging specs in PvP right now. Sure, you suffer still defensively, you know, some PvP talents were added to try and combat that, but, you know, you can still get stunned and be completely killed inside of a stun, and if your healer is getting cross CC'd, so you still have to be careful how you play, right? You can't just completely zug, because you're not like, you're not 10.0.7 paladin, let's say it like that. Here I'm just gonna comment a little bit on this game. This game is gonna, I think, go down to mana. I'm just here AoE healing the crap out of me and the Feral, getting earth shields on us and stuff. And just pumping DPS, just pumping, having both my... what's it called? Both targets flame shocked and stuff. Here I made a little mistake. You should not stand in these Demon Hunter. When Demon Hunter flies up, just try and hide. Because Fell Lance right now is dealing insane damage. Insane, absolutely insane damage. Here I swapped a little bit to the Demon Hunter. Not kind of smart. We do get blur, but I should be just focusing down the Paladin. We got all the Palas cooldowns down at this point. But yeah, it's gonna end up being a mana game. You can see the... I don't see the priest's mana, but the mana on the monk is very low. Very low. Priest does a good swap arena here. I think we're just gonna be able to pump them down here. Kind of dangerous, but again, yeah, not much they can do at this point. I'm just gonna finish off the paladin, I think. Yep, I drink a little stun too. Ultimately just a game that ends on mana, basically. Kind of unfortunate. Sorry, also there was no sound in the first match, first round. I had some music playing that I was not sure was copyright free or copyright not free, so to make sure that we are not getting a copyright strike or, you know, having my content be working for somebody else. Here we're probably gonna be focusing Paladin again, I think. Let's talk also a little bit about PvP talents. I think we had some really good changes. Shamanism is really strong now and finally off the global CD. Stormweaver finally allows you to both heal and damage with your Maelstrom in the same time. And of course Borrow, giving an additional defensive cooldown. Borrow, unfortunately, I feel like is very niche. I have been using it a lot more, you know, a lot more to test it out than, how would you say, than I should have. Like, a lot of these situations I should not be running it, right? But I just feel like it's kind of just niche versus like double melee, probably like the only usage when you don't need like grounding totem, because you almost always want to have a grounding totem and static link totem and shamanism. Those will be like the talents you always want to have. Here I'm not running shamanism, I'm running Stormweaver actually. I think it's really good, how would you say, that they're trying to do like these changes, giving us stuff, but I just feel like we're still kind of locked into... We're still locked into certain PvP talents, and until they give us those as well as for free, I would say we are still gonna have, like, I feel like an PvP talent issue where we are always locked into grounding totem and static link. Like static link and grounding totem you almost never switch out of unless it's like a very specific melee cleave that doesn't have a healer who can cast specific kill like CC and stuff like that. So it's I don't know, I'm not a big fan of how would you say it's balanced, or how would I say, not a big fan of having to spend 2 PvP talent points every time on the same 2 things always. And I really hope they look at those, giving us those really, like, also like specifically when you look at the grounding totem, like why is even grounding totem a PvP talent? Like that's something that shamans had baseline for like the longest time, right? So it's really confusing. Some of these, like I guess the things are still just a freaking PvP talent when they should have been a talent or just a baseline ability. Here pumping the feral. Again, my whole job is to pump, and I'm doing as much as healing as I can to try and help out my healer, and of course to, you know, keep us up, because that's my defensiveness. That's like what you can do right now. That's like a big part of your class, I would say. I'm not doing the best job at like dispelling and stuff. Sorry, not dispelling, but like focus kicking and focus and CCing the healer. And I would say that's a big part of that is also because I'm playing with a druid who can decurse. So the druid is decursing me, but I'm also could do a better job at kicking, like, and you know, like there I should be kicking and stuff. Like here I'm, I don't know, positioning myself to do something like that, I guess, but also sorry if I'm like moving around weirdly. I'm still like getting back into it. I'm still injured, still regenerating, so like you'll see me sometimes like literally stop, almost like my brain just like AFKs for some reason. It's like my hands or my brain to muscle, how do you say, muscle coordination just like gets stopped there for a second. I get a hex off, again probably gonna get taken off by the druid. He gets taken off. Here I think we're gonna be able to pump down the druids, or at least do a lot of pressure. This is a nice usage. I think finally that I gotten a good usage of that lightning lasso. And I just static link them here to keep them together. Also kind of a mana game ultimately. Unfortunately, that's kind of what's been happening here. Here I think we'll be focusing the paladin. Well, I think both can actually die realistically. Both the paladin and the feral are easy targets. Here I go for a set up my primordial wave to get my haste and stuff. Pull them out from the pillars so they're not running away. And just pumping. Getting my flaming shocks. You always want to make sure that your flaming shocks are as many targets as possible. Here I should have been targeting the priest to get flame shock on the priest as well, because like that's so much damage on your lava lash. It's extremely huge to have both targets. And I just get very nice burst there on my mastery proc from the weapon enchant. It's Earth and Writ plus wolves, and yeah, that's what happens. There was no crit, by the way. There was like 40k in 2 globals with no crit. Insane damage that shamans can do right now. Again, starting off slow, getting off my wolves, getting flame shocks on everybody so I can get the primordial lightning bolt on everybody and get primordial wave on everybody. Static link here stops the DH from jumping up, which is actually a good thing to do these days. Especially if you see the DH is using Rain from Above. Rain from Above is really strong right now, like 70k hits from Fell Lance. It's absolutely insane. I've had, yeah, multiple games where I use it only once and it's my top DPS, so like it's insane. You're just pumping, cleaving, you want to be trying to use your cleave as much as you can. You are a heavy cleave class, I would say, with this build. Like, you're heavy cleave, but your single target is just as insane. It's like, all your damage is insane. You just gotta be free to click your damage, I would say. Like, you can get CC'd and stuff like that, kited away. I'd say that's the biggest problem of the Enhancement Shaman right now. You're the ability to get kited is so easy. Like there's in certain classes, like I don't know, mages and stuff, like hunters are just, yeah, you don't have uptime on those classes. Unfortunately, they're just faster than you, everything than you. I don't know, like you can't, you don't have a good way to keep the pressure on them as you have versus like other, like when it's like a melee cleave like this, where I'm just consistently AoE healing both me and my partner, giving us earth shields, and then also outputting the most motherfucking DPS that everybody has ever seen from a shaman. I'm joking, of course, I'm not the best shaman, but you know, just shaman pumping real hard right now. Just pumping the poor. Why is that guy so fast? Get a nice little hex after the stun, and we get another stun after the hex. Beautiful DC on the healer. So that's a, I would say, pretty simple game there. Unfortunately, you still can't, like, because you don't have like how would you say, a mortal wounds effect. I feel like your pressure can get still countered sometimes by a lot of healing, but if you can get some CC going, yeah, it can be over very easily, because you can do like 80% of somebody's HP in like 4 globals, I'd say, 5 globals, let's say, something like that. Like you can do one of the most insane amounts of burst. It's not like one-shot burst, but like it's just you have so many consistent hard-hitting globals, like 100k, 100k, 100k globals. You can hit like 400k globals, right? So like it's insane. The class is insane. Just bumping here, not much to it. I should be looking to get some hexes going and stuff, just to make the feral work, right? But it's all good. We are going feral, I think, here. And here we should be hiding, because we're gonna get fell-lanced in the face, but I'm not getting targeted anyways. Noise, countered. I'm not using my lightning lasso. I should be using it a lot more, especially when we are like spread out like this. Just back to pumping, doing my best damage, and of course healing my the partner when I can. Keep them here lined up so I can do some damage to them. One thing that I hate, man, Sundering feels so weird to press now. Like Sundering almost does nothing right now, so I'm using it more as a CC, I would say, option than an AoE damage option than like actual damage straight up. Again, hot hand proc, I'm just gonna burst him down. That's it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things the YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.